As clerk, I'm going to formally open the meeting before we elect a chair. Sorry, has it started? Okay. I'm going to formally open the meeting before we elect a chair. We will need to elect a chairman as Councillor Selden is no longer available, but we have Councillor Polly Andrews joining the committee this afternoon. I can confirm that this meeting is being held in accordance with the Licensing Act 2003 and the Licensing Act Hearing Regulations 2005, which allow councils to make their own arrangements for licensing subcommittees to hearing matters in connection with premises licenses. I will go to each subcommittee member to confirm that they can hear and be heard. So if you could verbally confirm that back to me, that'd be great. Councillor Polly Andrews.
I can hear and see you, thank you.
Councillor Paul Andrews.
Good afternoon all, I can hear and see you clearly.
Thank you. And Councillor Tony Johnson.
I can see and hear clearly, although the volume is rather faint.
Is that for me?
Yes.
All right.
Let me turn up a little bit. Okay. I'd also like to request that officers who will be present throughout the meeting also confirm that they can hear and be heard. Emma Bowell, the licensing officer.
I can hear and see you, thank you.
Thank you. And Alice, the legal advisor to the subcommittee.
I can hear and see you.
Thank you. And we have also Paul Delatier, the trading standards officer.
Yeah, I can hear and see you.
Great, thank you. As the standing chair of the licensing subcommittee is not available today, the first item of business is to elect a chairperson for this meeting. Can I have a nomination, please?
I will nominate Councillor Paul Andrews.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I second that.
Thank you. If you've no objections, Councillor Paul Andrew, please take the chair.
Thank you. Right. Good morning. Good afternoon, all. We're here to review the license at in Ledbury for the mini market. Oh, I'm trying to get my agenda up. Sorry, do apologise. Which obviously is being bought by Trading Standards to review the license of the mini market in Ledbury at 10 New Street, Ledbury, postcode HR82DX. I notice, which is good to see, that the applicant is actually here. I've noticed everybody's on mute now, which I'm glad to hear. So I formally open this meeting. So I'll ask the Trading Standards Officer to present the case, please. Unless there's something I missed, Alice.
Apologies, Councillor Andrews.
Sorry, I'm the first
Can I just so the council is just to confirm, the council is video and audio streaming this meeting live on the internet and making a recording. The recording forms part of the public record of the meeting and will be available on the council's website. Please remember what you say and do in this meeting could have a global reach, and your words and actions should be chosen carefully. Can I also just remind members of the committee, if possible, to wear their headsets while listening and speaking during the meeting. This will ensure that the audio quality is of the highest possible quality and background noise is significantly reduced. There are some additional points for members and officers to be aware of. As part of our meeting etiquette, all microphones apart from the chairs will be placed on mute at the start and during the meeting, and he will run through the agenda in the customary way, which is what he was about to do until I interrupted.
No.
When you wish to speak, can you please raise the hand function? The chair will then invite you to speak in the order of hands being raised. Please remember to unmute yourself to speak and mute yourself when you have finished. Please ensure that all mobile devices are switched off to prevent any interference with the audio and video system. And finally, if any attendee loses connection, the meeting will be paused to ascertain if the connection can be restored quickly. If it's not possible to recover the connection within a reasonable amount of time, the meeting will continue as long as a quorum of subcommittee members remains able to hear the proceedings and be heard. Is everybody happy with the procedure I've just outlined?
Yes, fine. Yes, thank you, Alice.
Not a problem. Chair, do you just want to run through apologies for absence, substitutions, and
apologies
declarations
for
of interest?
Yes,
that's
thank
quite
you.
all right.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Apologies for absence, please.
We have no apologies for absence. No.
Okay. Any declarations of interest? No. Thank you. So I'd like to formally start the proceedings, and can the Trading Standards Officer please present the case? Thank you. Anything else I missed, Alice?
Sorry, sorry, Chair. I think that it's for the licensing officer to present her report first of all, and then we'll hear from
yes,
Trading
I
Standards.
do apologise. Emma, please present your report.
Thank you, Chair. As the Chair previously said, this is to consider an application for review of a premise licence in respect of Ledbury Mini Market of 10 New Street, Ledbury. The recommendations are that the subcommittee determine the application with a view to promote the licensing objectives in the overall interest of the local community. They should give weight to the steps that are appropriate to promote those licensing objectives, Herefordshire Standards application for review, the guidance issued to local authorities under the Licensing Act 2003, representations including all supporting information presented by all parties, and the Herefordshire Council licensing policy of 2020 to 2025. These reasons for these recommendations are that it ensures compliance with the Licensing Act 2003. There are a number of options open to the committee in relation to the review today. The modification of the conditions of the premises licence, the exclusion of any licensable activities from the scope of the licence, the removal of the designated premises supervisor, which is abbreviated to a DPS, from the licence, the suspension of the licence for a period not exceeding 3 months, or the revocation of the licence. The licensing authority must take into account any relevant representations made, and relevant representations are those that relate to one or more of the licensing objectives, have not been withdrawn, and are made by the premise licence holder, a responsible authority, or an interested party. The details of the application before you are: the applicant is Herefordshire Council Trading Standards as the responsible authority. The licensing authority received the application on the 17th of November 2021, and the 28-day consultation started on the 18th of November 2021. The 28 days concluded on the 15th of December 2021. The application for review is attached to Appendix 1, and copies of that application were sent to the premise licence holder and responsible authorities. And in brief, the grounds for review are: since August 2021, Herefordshire Trading Standards have made 3 separate test purchases of illegal cigarettes from Ledbury Minimark, twice sold by Mr. Aziz, who is the premise licence holder, and once by an employee at the premises. The sale of illegal tobacco is a serious problem and undermines the licensing objectives that specifically relate to the prevention of crime and disorder. Just a brief summary of the premises history is the premises was first licensed in August 17 under the premise name of Maya. On the 1st of March 2021, the licensing authority granted an application to transfer the premises license, vary the DPS at the premises, and change the premises name. The premises is now licensed under Ledbury Mini Market with Dalur Mohammed Amin Aziz as a premises license holder and the DPS. The current license, which can be found at Appendix 2, authorises the following licensable activities: the sale and supply of alcohol for consumption off the premises, Monday to Friday, 9:30 until 8 p.m, Saturday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m, and Sunday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. And the license is also subject to a number of conditions that are on the license and must be adhered to whenever the premises is open for licensable activities. So, circumstances leading to the review: 3 separate test purchases of illegal cigarettes from Ledbury Minimark were counterfeit products. They were sold to be genuine Benson & Hedges, but they were smuggled from Europe with no duty paid. On the 2nd of October 21, Trading Standards led an operation at the above premises along with Westminster Police, where a substantial quantity of illegal tobacco was located in an employee's vehicle. All items were seized, and the matter is subject to an ongoing criminal investigation. The sale of illegal cigarettes is viewed as a serious offence under Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003. The guidance states that where certain criminal activity, such as the sale of illegal tobacco, occurs in connection with a licensed premises, it should be treated particularly seriously. No representations have been received from any other responsible authorities or members of the public. Any decision may have an impact on the local community. This report is in relation to a premise licence under the Licensing Act 2003, and as such, there are minimal environmental impacts for the council as the licensing authority. There are a number of equality duties set out in this report, and also there are unlikely to be any financial implications. There are also legal implications that are set out in the report that your legal advisor can advise further on. Schedule 5 under the Licensing Act 2003 gives a right of appeal. That appeals should be made to the Magistrates Court and must be made within 21 days, beginning with the day on which the appellant was notified by the licensing authority of the decision appealed against. There is little risk associated with the decision at this time, as the legislation allows for that right of appeal. All responsible authorities and members of the public living within Herefordshire have been consulted. Appendices 1 to 2 are found at the back of this report, and there's also been a supplement produced since the report has been published with extra information from Trading Standards. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Emma. I now go over to Trading Standards Officer Paul Lucia to read out Trading Standards statement.
Good afternoon, thank you. Part of my role as a Principal Trading Standards Officer is to tackle the sale of and supply of illegal tobacco in Herefordshire. We tend to categorise tobacco or illegal tobacco into three main categories. The first being smuggled. These are brands that are manufactured legitimately in one country, but are smuggled and sold in the UK without any duties or other taxes being paid. The second is what we now know as illicit whites. These are cheaply manufactured products, usually from outside of Europe, and they're made predominantly for the illegal market to be smuggled around the world. And the third being counterfeit. These are illegally manufactured products, usually by organised criminals, which are subject to zero health controls, which purport to be genuine products manufactured by regulated tobacco companies. These present the biggest danger to smokers simply because they could be smoking anything whatsoever, including hazardous substances. The illegal tobacco sold to our purchaser by Ledbury Mini Market on each occasion was counterfeit. So they're unregulated, it's a huge unknown to the purchaser, and they might ordinarily think that they are buying a genuine product which had been smuggled into the UK. It's highly lucrative for the sellers, and more importantly, we just don't know what's in these products. They present a huge health risk to members of the public who smoke, and they simply might not be aware of the fact that they're smoking counterfeit products. One particular safety feature that legitimately produced cigarettes contain is that the cigarette butts will not continue to burn, when the tobacco has been smoked. This significantly reduces fire risks, especially inside the home. Counterfeit cigarettes are not legally compliant and undergo zero testing to ensure that this element is present to protect consumers. The prime objective for illegal tobacco gangs producing these products is purely money. They don't care what goes into them, and they'll look to maximise profits at every opportunity. I would suggest that this can be said for Mr. Aziz at Ledbury Mini Market. By selling these products, he has shown complete disregard for consumers' health and only cares about making money. I feel it's important that we recognise the lucrative nature of illegal tobacco and cigarettes. A law-abiding corner shop business might make 20 to 30p profit on each pack of 20 cigarettes. A shop selling illegal tobacco products will be making 10 times that. Trading Standards and Herefordshire Council have a duty to protect legitimate businesses, and by allowing a business to continue to trade with an alcohol licence after the owner has continually broken the law and put people's health at risk by selling unregulated products just in order to make more money, this would send out completely the wrong message. It would not only undermine the licensing objectives, but would be a huge kick in the teeth for local businesses who rely on the same trade and go above and beyond to stay legal in a very challenging trading environment. Mr. Aziz has shown that he is incapable of being trusted to trade legitimately. He's breached at least 2 of our licensing objectives, and he's consciously broken the law on many occasions. Trading Standards have a zero tolerance policy on illegal tobacco sales, and the criminal investigation is almost at its conclusion. Therefore, I would submit that the only option, in my opinion, would be a full and permanent alcohol licence revocation. If you've got any questions, I'll happily try to help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. any questions at the moment from any of the committee members? Polly, Tony? No?
I think Councillor Andrews is trying to come off mute. Councillor
No,
Andrews.
yeah, I'm off now. Sorry.
Yes.
It's merely tobacco that's being queried, then not any alcohol sales, simply tobacco.
Yeah, so the reason for the review is that we've been purchasing illegal tobacco there, and we feel that undermines a business that has an alcohol license.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was going to ask, if I may, Chairman, although it may not have a direct bearing, do we know if excise officers are involved in this investigation at all? Customs and excise.
Customs.
Yeah, sure. We actually do a lot of work on behalf of customers and excise. So part of the illegal operations they're fully aware of. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you both. Right. Obviously, I mentioned the owners actually here, but can I just clarify with the licensing that Mr. Aziz actually is present? I know we can see him on screen, but you can just clarify that that is the actual applicant owner.
Yeah, that is the premises license holder. However, he did not submit a notice of intention to speak, so it's at your discretion whether you allow him to speak during this committee meeting or not.
Members, have you got any problems with the gentleman speaking?
None.
Not at all.
No.
In all fairness, I think we should allow him to speak.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Aziz, if you'd like to speak on behalf of yourself.
Yes.
Okay, carry on at your leisure.
Okay, about the illegal cigarettes, can you hear me, yeah, properly?
Yes.
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 Yes, it's been sold in the shop, and I didn't know until the trading standard coming, they are fake because they are written English and it's English brand. And if I knew same other shop, I would have connect with other people or hiding in the shops. So I realized once they coming, I didn't know they are fake.
Okay, right. Well, I think, is there any more questions from committee members to Mr. Aziz? Anything you'd like to ask Tony or Polly?
Yes, I have one, Paul. Sorry, Chairman. I don't smoke myself, so I'm completely unfamiliar with prices. But in the report I was reading that these cigarettes are being sold at £5.50 a packet, I think. Is that the standard price that one would pay for normal legal cigarettes?
Is the question for me, yes?
Yeah, you could answer.
To be honest, not, because I bought from the guy. He used to bring vegetable and watermelon during the summer. And he said, I bought this cigarette from American brand, which is Cost Cutter, something like that. And I paid him some money, and he said, I'm going to come back, bring all the VAT receipts, everything's legal. It's not illegal. I'm just closing the business. That's why I'm selling. So I didn't realize, and this guy's never come back, never appeared. So I just put them in my girlfriend's car.
But what would the standard price be for a packet of Benson and Hedges cigarettes? For an ordinary legal packet of 20 cigarettes?
Well, I don't sell much cigarette in the shop. It's a bit struggling from the first day. But now I know it's like around 9 to 10 pounds, could be up to 10 pounds. Each place is different price.
So you did know that you were selling these cigarettes at approximately half the price of normal cigarettes?
I did know it's cheaper, but I didn't know it's fake because I bought cheap and I was selling cheap. But
Okay,
good
thank
job
you.
they coming. So now I realize they were fake.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Aziz.
you.
Polly, have you got any
Well,
questions?
I was about to say that I don't know if any of you remember former Councillor Charles Nichols, who runs in the market. He tells me that Benton and Hedges sell over £11 a packet. So if you're selling them at £5,
Okay. Right.
a bit of a query there, I would have thought.
Okay. All right. Right. Thank you very much. There's no more questions. And I think Paul, you had your hand up. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Just to put into context, so they were sold at £5.50 each packet. Looking online this morning, they sell up to £14 per packet from a supermarket. So to me, it's clear they knew that it was illegal.
Thank you for your contribution. That's what I was looking for. The difference in price must have given an indication to anybody that there was something curious about these cigarettes.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, Paul, for clearing that up. Thank you. Nothing else? Anybody else ask? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much all at the moment. I think we go to adjournment now. The subcommittee will now adjourn to discuss the application. We'll come back in 30 minutes to let you know our decision. I'll be grateful if you could please rejoin the meeting 5 minutes prior to the end of the adjournment in case there are any technical issues which we need to be resolved. You may remain in the meeting if you wish to. Oh, welcome back all. I'd just like to confirm that Democratic Services, that live stream is on and recording. And can I also go back to committee members to make sure they can hear and see clearly? So Councillor Polly Andrews.
I can hear and see you clearly, Chairman.
Okay. Councillor Tony Johnson.
I can see and hear you clearly, Chairman.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much all for attending this meeting. The committee has we've made a decision, and the decision of the committee is, and I will read out as follows. Please bear with me. So the decision is, having heard the report of the licensing authority, the evidence from trading standards and the applicant for the licensing review, and having regard to the statutory guidance of the Licensing Act, the subcommittee considered that the evidence did show that a serious offence had been committed at the premises. The subcommittee noticed that the representation from Mr. Aziz as the DPS, but against this noted that there had been 3 failed test purchases and repeated offences. The subcommittee considered that there had been a failure to uphold the licence objectives, particularly the licence objective of prevention of crime and disorder. And the decision, therefore, of the subcommittee is that the licence will be revoked. Thank you very much. Could I please ask for the live stream to be finished? Thank you.